What up, YouTube? Cam that guy here. I'm back once again with another YouTube video. So in this YouTube video, you know what I'm saying, I'm about to be explaining my 11th grade year. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm about to be explaining, okay? You know what I'm saying? So this is one of the more interesting years, you know what I'm saying, of my life. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a big change. It was a big switch. And it's a lot for me to take in. You know what I'm saying? It's going to go from private school to public school. I'm going to explain the reason why, the details. Each private and public school, we're going to go through all the years. That's what we're about to go through, right? So this is very bold and encouraging for me to do, but I think it's relevant, right? Because a lot of people that think I'm a fighter just down and there, it's never been in me to be a fighter, right? You know what I'm saying? So this is a good video to do. This is a good video for me to do and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Because it's going to let people know, like, okay, you know what I'm saying? He's not a fighter. He never was a fighter. Never been a fight in his life. Why do we keep trying to fight him for it when he's not a fighter, you know what I mean? So this is why it's relevant. But it's going to give people outside of that situation just clarity in general, you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like, man, you know what I'm saying? This is how his buoyant stage kind of was, him in 11th grade. This is what he been through, school situations, all that other shit, you know what I'm saying? So it's something I'm looking forward to and shit, you know what I'm saying? So look, you know what I'm saying? I hope y'all ready for this, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna give y'all everything, you know what I'm saying? You better know everything, you know what I mean? So let's go ahead and get into it, man. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and let's go ahead and get into it. So here we go with 11th grade year, right? You know what I'm saying? So here we'll go pertaining to it. So 11th grade year, this was a different year for me. 11th grade year, we're gonna start with a private school. So 11th grade year, things got different for me. Here's how. You know what I'm saying? For one, I lost all my close acquaintances. You see what I'm saying? That's what I ended up doing. I lost all my close acquaintances. You know what I mean? So I was really alone. So what I would do is I would just be on my phone and play music. That's pretty much all I would do. Didn't really talk to people. I didn't have like at least 10th grade year or ninth grade year, I kind of semi had some people to talk to, right? But this 11th grade year in the private school, I didn't really have nobody to talk to, right? And it is what it is, what, you know what I'm saying? That's okay or whatever, right? You know what I mean? But outside of that, you know what I'm saying? I was to myself. I didn't really care or nothing like that, you know what I mean? And then, yeah, you know what I mean? That was pretty much the situation, you know what I'm saying? Outside of that, you know what I'm saying? Let's get into the details, right? You know what I mean? So here's how 11th grade year was, you know what I'm saying? Everything was very different. We got a whole new stream of teachers, this, that, and that. Leaving a lot of details out because I don't want, you know what I'm saying, all that to happen to me, right? But we're gonna get into, you know what I'm saying, just the basis of it. So, a lot of stuff like that ended up happening to me. Everything new, you know what I'm saying? It was a lot of new, you know what I mean? Things that got changed and stuff, you know what I'm saying? So it was like, man, you know what I'm saying? This is interesting and shit. This is definitely different. You know what I'm saying? All that other shit, you know what I mean? So when it comes down to it and shit, you know what I'm saying? I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? This is something, you know what I mean? Different, you know what I'm saying? So I just stayed to myself and shit and all that other shit, right? But here was a situation for me. People, you know what I'm saying, felt the need to test me out. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, not a fighter. I just never felt the need to fight them. It would never was in me. You know what I'm saying, to go about that situation. And I explained this in the video of how I got bullied. Go check that video out, right? You know what I mean? But we're gonna get into the basis of like 11th grade year and its like totality, right? You know what I mean? So you know what I'm saying? When it comes down to it though, more so 11th grade year, they didn't really play with me too much. Well, let me not say the word play. Let me be very careful with my verbiage. Let me shut real quick. Let me be very careful with my verbiage. They didn't really try to test me out or anything like that, or try to push their luck or try me, whatever term you want to use, right? I don't know which term works best for you. You know what I'm saying? But they never tried to really do that 11th grade year. But they did definitely verbally, and they did just a little bit physically. But it was definitely more like a 10th and ninth grade year type of thing. But 11th grade year, they did do it a little bit and all that other shit. But I ended up leaving and all that other shit. But here's what ended up happening, right? You know what I mean? So when it come down to it and shit, Teachers was fucked up, and it was a build through, right? Teachers was fucked up as shit. You know what I mean? They was disrespectful. Even outside of that, the students were assholes as shit. Students felt the need to just keep trying me and shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, why you keep trying to test me out and shit? You know what I'm saying? All that other shit. You know what I mean? This don't make no sense. Even outside of that, you know what I'm saying? Even outside of that, you know what I'm saying? It was the main thing, you know what I'm saying? What it was, you got the students, right? You know what I'm saying? And then you got the teachers, you know what I'm saying? That's what ended up happening and stuff. You got all that stuff around me, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, you got these teachers bothering me, you got these students bothering me, all that other shit, you know what I mean? I'm tired of this shit. This shit don't make no sense, right? But here's the main thing, you know what I'm saying? The main thing was this coach, you know what I'm saying? This coach, I would always get in school suspension because of these teachers, right? I was living in that bitch, you know what I'm saying? I was always in that school suspension, every lunchtime and shit. Like, I couldn't catch a break, you know what I'm saying? That's kind of like what it was and shit, right? So it was like, man, you know what I'm saying? I'm always in here, this, that, and the third. They always talking shit to me. It's whatever, right? That's kind of what it was, right? And it's crazy, you know what I'm saying? Even though I did get kind of physically abused, it wasn't as much as 10th or ninth grade, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that was kind of a situation. But anyways, what ended up happening, you know what I'm saying? Me and this coach, you know what I'm saying, we got into it. Now obviously we had a better relationship sixth grade year versus later on. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't a lot of people think, you know what I'm saying, this coach made me. Not at all. You know what I'm saying? He's just a simple coach that taught me a little bit of fundamentals. It just when you watch basketball online and you know, when you just know basketball and common sense all that plays a role, you know what I'm saying? You know, I'm a nigga that takes credit very seriously, and people cannot give me that. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the situation, you know what I mean? They want to attach me to something because they don't want to see me flourish. That's kind of like what it is, right? So that's kind of like the situation. But anyway, he was my primary coach, you know what I'm saying? All that other shit, right? You know what I mean? So he taught me, you know, little fundamentals or whatever. Well, you know, we got in a little argument and shit. You know, he called me a pussy, all that other shit, right? You know what I mean? Right to my face. I'm like, well, okay, I'm not a fighter. I'm not gonna fight you. You know what I mean? He called me that. You know what I mean? All that other shit. I said, oh, okay, I'll be that. You know what I mean? That's what I ended up saying and shit. You know, I didn't say that, but that's pretty much what I was like. You know what I mean? Like, I mean, what do you want me to do? You want me to fight a 40 or 50-year-old man and I'm in my teenage years? You want me to do that? I mean, I don't know what else to, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? That's kind of like what it is. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? Like, you saying that because you got some teachers hating on me and whatever the case may be. I'm getting ISS a lot. I don't even know what provoked the argument. You know what I'm saying? I don't really know. I guess it's just my behavior or whatever. But it wasn't even that bad. You know what I'm saying? But he called me that this down there. I'm like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I don't really care. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'll be that. You know what I mean? And then we just move on. So that was kind of a situation. But you know what I'm saying? It got to a point where he was actually like just calling me that in general. You know what I'm saying? Like he was actually calling me that every day. You know what I'm saying? That's what he ended up calling me that and shit like that, you know what I mean? And so I mean that actually became a problem. I actually told my guardian about that. You know what I'm saying? Because I was like, you know what I mean, I'm not finna be at this school. I'm not finna be at a place where it's messing with my mental health. You got teachers hating on me. Not only that, you got students and a coach. You know what I'm saying? Like they have no respect for me at all. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna be in a school like this. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like what it is and shit. You know what I mean? So I told her that all that other shit, right? And then, you know, I'm like, well, if I can't get out of here, wherever the case may be, I'm gonna force myself out. She said, if you do that, I'm gonna send you off to a military boot camp, or I'm gonna send you to, I'm gonna call the police or whatever the case may be. I said, okay, but I'm not gonna be here. It's not good for my health, my mental health, whatever the case may be. So I forced myself out. You know, I had my last day or whatever. I said, okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm done with this. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna be here dealing with this, that, and the third. You know, I'm being bullied. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it's not good. It's getting worse. I'm actually literally getting disrespected like blatantly. Like it's more than ever before. Literally getting called punk and pussy by the coach every day. You know what I'm saying? Teachers don't have no respect for me. Students hate on me, all that other shit. You know what I'm saying? So that's just a situation and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like there's no way. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to stay. You know what I'm saying? At this school. You know what I'm saying? So it was getting more and more draining for me. So I ended up moving out of it, you know what I'm saying? I said, you know, once I got home from school, I told my guardian, I'm not gonna be there no more. She said, why? I said, because I'm getting bullied. That's what I ended up saying. And then, you know, That's just it. You know what I'm saying? So I stayed home for about a week. I said, well, I'm not gonna go to school until I go to Lincoln. You can go and call military boot camp, call the police. I'm not going to go to school until it go my way. I put down my foot. All right, I put down my foot. I stumped. I want to always be number one. Go listen neutral. You know what I mean? But that was kind of situation. You know what I'm saying? I said, I'm not going to go to school, so you can send me to a military boot camp. You can go, you know what I'm saying, send me with the police. I will not go back to the school until, you know what I mean, you know what I'm saying, do this and that. You know what I mean? I'm just not going to do it. I said, well, I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? This is not what I do. You know what I'm saying? I seen this thing on Instagram. It was with J. Cole, right? And this right here was funny as fuck. I don't like to mention marquee people in my YouTube videos, right? But I'm using it as an example because this right here is so funny to me. You know what I'm saying? He ended up talking. He was wearing gray. He was talking about making beats. He was like, and I don't make beats. You know what I'm saying? This is not what I do. I don't do beats. I never was good at doing beats, and this is just not what I do. That's kind of like me talking about fighting. I don't fight. You know what I mean? This is not what I do. You know what I'm saying? I don't fight. I never have been good at fighting, and this is just not something that I do. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of me in that situation. A little joke just to throw in the video, you know what I mean? That's kind of like the situation, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not what I do. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real with you, you know what I mean? Like, I don't do this. You know what I mean? That's just a situation, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yo, you know what I mean? Just a little analogy so y'all get my point of view for all the people watching, right? So anyway, look, you know what I'm saying? What it pertains to that situation, you know what I'm saying? It's like, man, you know what I'm saying? I had to, you know, go sign all the papers from Lincoln. It's done the third. I had to get my male guardian because female guardian didn't co-sign when I had to get my male guardian involved. All that other shit, I had to force myself into public school. So, bam. I'm in the public school, right? So, you know what I'm saying? When we get into this public school, you know what I'm saying? This is where things get good, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm in a new environment, everything renewed, you know what I'm saying? I don't got to deal with no more bullying, you know what I'm saying? All that other shit, I'm like, yes, you know what I'm saying? I get to, you know what I mean, feel safe and just better overall, you know what I mean? I don't got to deal with none of that. You know what I mean? That's kind of like how it is and shit, you know what I mean? So, you know what I'm saying? I end up, you know what I'm saying, coming there, you know what I mean? And on the first day, you know what I'm saying, when I get there and shit, you know what I'm saying, they ask, do you know anybody there? I say, yeah, you know what I mean, they get to sending me off. She's somebody I actually used to go to the old school I was with, but she didn't bully me. She was just, you know what I'm saying, she was all right, you know what I mean, but she never bullied me at all. She was one of the very few people that didn't bully me, you know what I mean. She was, you know, pretty cool, whatever, but she never, you know what I mean, did anything bad. But anyway, you know what I'm saying. Show me where I was, all that other shit. So I had to make a lot of friends, you know. So I had to make a lot of friends and shit, you know what I'm saying? That's what ended up happening, you know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? Here's how that went. First off, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get into well, I don't want to really get too much into the friends because I don't want to get raped, right? So let's not get into the friends too much. Let's get more into kind of like the teachers and like what was taught to me. You know what I'm saying? Let's do that, you know what I mean? So whatever pertains to, you know, the teachers and what was taught to me, I mean, let's begin with what was taught to me, right? First period was 3D art, right? This was a cool class for me, you know what I'm saying? All that other shit, you know what I mean? This was a nice little class for me and shit, you know what I mean? I enjoyed sculpting shit. I enjoyed building shit. It was a cool class. I liked the people I was around and all that other shit, you know what I mean? This was a nice little class for me and all that other shit. It was a cool class, all that other shit. I enjoyed it. It was a nice experience, you know what I'm saying? All that other shit. And I'm glad, you know what I'm saying, that, you know, things, you know, everything happened for a reason, you know what I mean? Everything was cool, you know what I mean? All that other shit. We enjoyed, you know what I mean? Everything, you know what I'm saying? It was nice. I liked the environment. I enjoyed what I was around here. You know what I mean? That was just a situation and shit, you know what I mean? That's just what it was. I like the projects, all that shit. I like the assignments. I enjoyed coming to art. It was nice, you know what I'm saying? I actually like art more than I expected. And it was cool and shit, you know what I'm saying? That's what it was. So yeah, that was the situation and that was at stake. Second period was social studies. This was a cool class. I just was cruising. I didn't talk much in that class compared to first period. You know what I mean? But second period, you know what I'm saying, was definitely cool. You know what I'm saying? All that other shit, you know what I mean? And, you know, yeah, you know what I mean? That was it. You know, that was the situation, you know what I mean? So it was like, I did what I did and shit. Third period was language strategies. This was just like a homework helping class, you know what I'm saying? This was like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like this shit, you know what I'm saying? Was nice for me. They helped me with homework, not only that, a little bit of English helping, but it was mainly just a homework. It was like a study hall. That's what we call it back in my day. I'm not sure what y'all call it nowadays, but that's pretty much what it was and shit. It was nice and shit, you know what I'm saying, to do all that other shit. And, I'm glad that, I went through it, you know what I'm saying. The teacher was really good. She played a role in my graduation. You know what I'm saying? That's what she did. As far as like my grades and all that other shit, you know what I mean? She played a role. Now, granted, towards the fourth quarter of my senior year, you know what I'm saying, I organically brought my grades up because I tried, you know what I'm saying? Whereas I would always skip class. I didn't try to study, like, none of that shit. Like, you can look at my records. I used to skip classes all the time, especially senior year, like, always skipping. Like, I didn't really care. I never really tried. I was just doing what I do and shit, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't until, you know what I'm saying, like, the end where it's like, they said to me, if you don't graduate, you know what I'm saying, then, like, you gotta go get a GED and then you won't be able to get jobs and shit like that. That's what they said. I was like, okay, well, I ready level for concern. I can't get jobs with the lack of a high school diploma. I need to try. You know what I'm saying? That's why I ended up saying that shit. You know what I mean? So that's why I ended up doing. That's why I ended up doing towards the end and shit, right? And then, you know what I'm saying? I got my grades better towards the final quarter of the semester. But outside of that, you know what I'm saying? That was pretty much the situation, you know what I mean? But, when it pertains to me this go around, that's what pretty much happened and all that other shit. It was nice, wherever the case may be, and it was a good experience. Fourth period was Spanish, you know what I'm saying? So when it comes to Spanish, the teacher we had was very, like, generic. She was a horrible Spanish teacher, I'm not gonna lie. Like, it seemed like I knew more Spanish than her ass, you know what I'm saying? Her ass was terrible, you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? We doing Spanish 1, and even though it's Spanish 1, I'm thinking to myself, shouldn't we do some type of sentences? You know what I mean? We did nothing but, like, just words. Like, obviously we did sentences towards the final semesters and shit like that. But I'm like, it seemed very, like, it didn't, it didn't, she didn't have, like, a year a plan. It's like, she would just go up there and be like, what is this word and what is that word and all that other shit. She didn't really have no like plan. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of like what it was, right? And obviously, I took Spanish my ninth grade year, so I had a little bit of Spanish coming into this class. But it was kind of like, you know what I'm saying? It was like she was very like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? It's like her ass was fucking. Her Spanish teaching was like phonics. So I was like, man, fuck that. But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Fifth period was math. Horrible fucking class, I'm not gonna lie, you know what I mean? And it depends on the teacher though, you know what I'm saying? It depends on the teacher. Sometimes the right teacher is the problem. I mean, the wrong teacher or whatever the case may be is the problem. You know what I'm saying? 12th grade year, I got a way better teacher. He taught me very, very good at math, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what it was. Like, I'm not gonna lie. 12th grade year, that was the best math teacher I ever had. You know what I'm saying? Like, in life. You know what I'm saying? I'm just being real with you. So when it come down to it and shit, it depends on who is teaching you math. If you have the right teacher that know how to explain shit, you'll do good in anything you do. You know what I'm saying? School wise. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what it was. And that's something I learned 12th grade year. I'm like, this nigga know how to teach. I fuck with him. And he was patient. He was patient. Well, most importantly, he was patient. You know what I'm saying? That comes a long way. You know what I'm saying? So that's a situation and shit, you know what I mean? So outside of that, you know what I'm saying, I had, you know what I'm saying, this math grade teacher, you know what I mean, whatever the case may be, you know what I mean. I'm like, you know what I'm saying, I'm talking to him and shit, you know what I'm saying, like, yeah, okay. You know what I mean, his ass was a little pervs, you know what I'm saying, fucking with all them young soccer girls. I know I do a man coaching a young girl soccer team. I remember one of my classmates, she had said, I don't give a fuck about that yellow man. But that shit had me rolling. That's the funniest shit I ever heard in life. Dude look like a Simpson. You know what I'm saying? That's exactly how he look. You know what I'm saying? That shit right there is funny as fuck. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never seen nothing like it. You know what I mean? That shit is funny. You know what I'm saying? I never seen nothing like it. You know what I mean? And then, you know what I'm saying? The final period, you know what I'm saying? We're going to get into English. This class right here was a pretty cool class. I had niggas to talk to in this class, you know what I mean? All that other shit. English teacher failed me, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But that's because we did nothing but novels and reading books. I'm like, I don't want to do this shit. You couldn't hand me a book for shit, you know what I'm saying? If it wasn't interesting, I wasn't going to read it. That's just what it does. She's like, bitch taught no English. You read a book, we do this for a semester, next semester book. Each semester, right? We read a book you know what I'm saying, each semester, I said, fuck this. You know what I mean? I never tried it. I was interested in talking to other hoes in the bitch, other niggas, let me say niggas, because there's boys and girls in that bitch, and that was what it was. And yeah, you know what I mean? She failed me. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So now let's get into more details. I went over kind of how 11th grade year was. I didn't realize how long this video was. I gotta hurry up and wrap this up. So anyway, you know what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and hurry up and wrap it up. You know what I'm saying? So I went over that, the basis. So, let me see what else I need to talk about. Fuck. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna wrap this video up. This video is long enough. So, what it pertains to 11th grade year, you know what I'm saying? I think that, you know what I'm saying, it was, you know what I mean, a cool experience, you know what I'm saying? I got to learn myself and all that other shit. As far as my friend making, I didn't make friends really towards the end. Not even friends, I would say acquaintances. I didn't make acquaintances towards the end of the year. That's when I got really comfortable with talking to people. It took a while for me to come out my shell and all that other shit. I was very shy. So it took a while for me to develop. But I got bold. I started talking to men and women. It just took a little bit, you know what I mean, of a time period for me to just, you know what I mean, get comfortable and be myself. That's what it was, you know what I'm saying? Then overall, you go into 12th grade, you're way more loud, way more out there and shit, but eventually things change and shit. But that's kind of what it was. So outside of that, you know, I was easygoing, easy to get along with, never got any altercations, never no fights, none of that shit. Hashtag not what I do, you know what I mean, all that other shit. Yeah, you know what I mean, that's just what it was and shit. So did really well, you know what I'm saying, handled business and made it on to the next grade. And believe it or not, you know what I mean, I did have to take English 3 virtual school online. You can go check the screen recording if you have it. Obviously, you know, so I got better. Well, 12th grade year I was better, 11th grade year. But you can go check English 3 virtual school, the screen recording online if you want. You know what I'm saying? That's what you can do, you know what I mean? And that shit crazy. I used to hate that virtual school. I said, fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't remember what it was about. I think it was just like reading, a bunch of reading and shit. To what I remember. It wasn't no real English. You know what I mean? That's kind of what it was if I can remember, you know what I mean? But yeah. And then 12th grade year, we got into some more English and all that other shit. But yeah, as far as my English skills, I always had a good vocabulary and all that other shit. You know what I mean? Outside of that, though, so I know how to spell. I've been know how to spell the sound. My English goes all the way back to elementary, honestly. You know what I'm saying? It goes from elementary all the way back up into little chip. It goes all the way back to elementary to like chip. Elementary all the way back into like 12th grade. You know what I'm saying? That's what it does and shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? That's kind of like the situation and shit. You know what I'm saying? So. You know what I mean? For me, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, know how to, you know what I mean, get into with that, you know what I'm saying? All that other shit. I managed to, you know what I'm saying, get through, you know what I'm saying? I managed to, you know what I'm saying, do what I do, you know what I'm saying? All that other shit. I managed to handle business, this, that, and the third, you know what I mean? And go from there, you know what I mean? That's just a situation, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, you know what I mean? I would say, honestly, you know what I'm saying? I mean, this is something, you know what I mean, I'm cool with, you know what I'm saying? All that other shit. And I know a lot of English shit. Yeah, you know, that's kind of what it is and shit, you know what I mean? But if I think back to 11th grade, I remember it was just like a lot of reading comprehension. It was a lot of reading comprehension to my knowledge. It wasn't no like really like any type of real English. You know what I mean? So that's kind of what it was. So you know, I don't like reading shit. You know what I mean? So yeah. But anyways, you know what I mean? We're gonna go and end this video. You know what I mean? All that other shit. And I hope y'all enjoyed this video and shit, you know what I'm saying? I want y'all, you know what I'm saying, look, you know what I mean, to keep going, man, all the other shit, when you're in school and shit, just keep going, do what you do. All the other shit, you'll be able to get there. I mean, I was an okay student. If I would have tried, never skipped class, all that other shit, I would have been good. So make sure, you know what I'm saying, you always stay in tune with your videos, you know, I mean, not with your videos, excuse me, with your work. What you do, you know what I'm saying, how you do it, how you focus, you know what I mean, all that other shit. And then, you know, you'll go from there. Always, you know what I'm saying, work hard, try as hard as you can, get you a tutor if necessary, all that other shit, you know what I mean, then we'll go from there. Keep going, keep working on whatever you do in life, and I always wish the best. I end this video early just because, you know what I mean, it's, you know what I'm saying, too long and shit. So look, that's the end of this video, you know what I'm saying. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If you did, you know what I'm saying, I want to go and say, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. More videos on the way. I got a lot of other videos on the way. Where my shit at? I got a lot of other videos on the way and shit, you know what I'm saying? So that's the situation. So I don't want this video to be no longer than 30, you know. Always videos is always under 30. So hopefully y'all enjoy this video. Like, comment, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one.